Morning, everybody. Welcome to Lock Pod, Midwest's Most Dangerous Podcast, Season 9, Episode 19.
Dun, 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 dun.
What is
19?
19?
Oh.
Yeah.
Bringing out the Espanol.
Sí, muy bien.
I took French.
Oh.
Oh.
Hola,
No idea.
19.
Hasta mañana.
No, that's 19. 19.
Hasta mañana. Have a good day. Yeah.
Let's see you tomorrow.
Good night. Buen
Hasta
día.
mañana.
Buen
See you
día.
tomorrow.
Buen día.
Buen dia. Good morning. Good
Sí,
day.
Muy bien. All right. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for coming. It's good to see you.
Good to be
Let's
here.
let's test
Jay
your
Vaz.
French.
Jay
What
Vaz.
up?
Yeah. What's up, Vaz?
Tired.
How's your back, man?
It's getting better slowly every day.
Was that massage I gave you? It made it better? Deep tissue?
Are we talking about this on the air?
Do you still have a walker? I guess is my question.
Yeah.
I returned the walker to my mother.
Would it be
Thank
tacky
you,
if-
Mama V.
Your mom gave you her walker?
She did.
That
It came in
that
so
is
handy.
sad, man.
That is fucked up, John. It's like,
I mean, it's like
that's
you're
like a life moment. You're
No,
gonna have to
no.
like reevaluate everything.
like your mom's
So your mom was
sprinting down the
immobile
street
for this whole time.
No, her
no,
mom
no,
is the
no,
most
no.
mobile one. That's the fucked up part.
No, I meant like, did she use a walker and you took
No,
it so
no.
she could?
These are like emergency at home like nursing supplies.
Hey, it just happened to be around the Vesmar home.
Yeah.
Did you get the bed that like
No.
that goes up like the hospital bed?
No.
too?
When
Oh,
Mrs.
that's
Vesmar buys these things, they think it's for her. But
Exactly.
It's really for
kid.
John.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Communal.
Now the
Yeah.
walker's over at Paul's house or what?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, I wore my Navy shirt today
I
to give me credentials.
I thought that was just a coincidence, but
No.
how
it was
could it?
premeditated. Everything I wear is premeditated on Lockpod.
It's good to know.
I go through analysis, except for that one time.
Let's
when I wore
remember that,
the
John.
same outfit. 2 times
Everything
in a row.
was that that was
No,
not
it was not.
premeditated.
It was just me throwing shit on.
Do you have a stylist?
No,
Oh,
I am my own
Lockpod
stylist.
stylist.
I should. One day when we're big time,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
When we
I'm gonna
win
be-
One day,
I'll be
When you
getting
win that
powdered up.
award,
I'll be getting powdered before each show.
me that like dream
Put my man
sequence
lipstick on.
audio, John.
the gloss.
Dude, Robert Smith wears lipstick. I could wear lipstick, right?
Who's that?
Robert Smith, lead singer for The Cure.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I expect
he still
lipstick
wear it?
From
yeah,
Really?
straight up.
He hasn't
And he's like 60
like
now.
in 35 years.
Yeah,
he hasn't.
dude.
He
It's
decided
like-
I'm still.
It
going
was
with the
still
lipstick.
edgy when he was in his 20s. Now he's 60 now, and he's
He's
still
a
wearing it.
60-year-old dude with like
With
black
lipstick.
lips,
Yeah.
black lipstick.
He's cute though. He is like, he's more cute now. Meaning like back then he was really like mysterious.
I
and,
agree.
like, now he's like,
Just an old
a
guy.
like-
novelty.
it's weird. It's like he's like dancing and happy but he still has that aura about him. But like he also does these cute little things on stage. Like he shows like his little kid side. It's pretty cool. Like it was a good show. If it wasn't on that Saturday, it would have been a great show.
Yes.
But the fact that it was on the dead Saturday was it cast a pall.
It
for me.
tempered it a little bit.
But Marissa was super happy.
Well,
that's
that's
like
important.
one of her favorite bands, literally. Like U2 and The Cure are up there for Marissa.
that
so.
counts for something.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We did a lot of concerts this year already.
I know. And then we have 5 for the festival.
You got to remember, Jill. 2022 was a year in which Tom McDermott gave up his
Life.
his
Life.
his fun,
Yeah.
his life.
You and,
Joy.
or-
No
you and
joy.
Zach were in charge of my life.
Yeah, it was not. I mean, it was. But I would. Give,
I mean,
I give
like,
you a lot
I'm-
of. I give you a lot of credit though, because going in, I was like, Tom is never gonna.
I
he's
did.
never gonna do this.
Once I'm in, I'm in.
You were in.
Once I'm in, I'm in.
I agree
That's
with you.
why, like, I'm not. When people are like, "Hey, you're gonna run for governor," that's why I'm not just flippantly throwing it around. Like, if I say yes, and I'm not even tempting people. Okay, I'm just saying, if I ever said I was running for governor, I'm all in.
Right.
I'm not fucking around.
Right. You're not doing this like half-ass.
Well,
and-
I'm
yeah.
not
Which
going
I
to be
was-
like,
Which I was.
and I've seen that before where people are like,
Without a
hey, I'm
doubt.
running for governor or I'm running for senator or I'm running for whatever. And then they're just sort of like feeling it out to see if like they get the right reaction. And if they do, like, I don't give a
And the next thing you know, they're in the middle of a race, and it's too late to get anybody else in the race. And
That's
then
true.
We're stuck with them.
That's true.
Yeah.
But like in my case, like if I say I'm in, I'm in. And
Yeah, I
would
think the
never
only
say
thing
that.
I was thinking about this. I know you went and saw the Dead, and that was like a
One time.
rare. Yeah, exactly.
And then
Yeah.
fucking Billy Joel the next day, the second day of the Dead show, Billy Joel plays.
There's a theme here.
Yeah, it was at Notre Dame, and I was
Billy Joel,
right.
then The Cure.
What is it like? Do major artists literally like follow the Dead around and
They call Marissa and say, "What show do you want her?"
you want to go to Billy Joel at Notre Dame for sure? Okay, we'll make that the second day of the Dead.
Marissa's like, "Yes, that's this year's."
Variety's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to the Dead next week. Quebec. I'm gonna,
Quebec?
No, in Quebec. I wish that'd be
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. I
No.
wish they were going to Quebec.
Hmm.
Hey,
Well,
let's
you got
talk
the
some
shirt
sub
on.
talk. Let's
You
talk
got-
sub talk.
Back to why we were talking in the
I see
beginning.
all these fools that have no idea what it's like to live in submarine. They're on CNN and all these important news stations, and I'm sitting here. We did sub talk on Lockpod the other day. That was better than anything you see on
I was
national
just
TV.
thinking about the fact that we have the corner of the market on sub talk.
We don't. That's the screwed up part. Is these people that have never set foot on a submarine sit there for hours on hours lecturing. I lived on a submarine for 4 years.
You got a little. I think you got street cred.
I'm qualified submarines.
You have the shirt.
Look at the dolphins
And the hat.
I earned that. You know how long it takes to get these? Over a year. Well, for me, it was less than because I'm
You're smart.
I'm
Cool.
just super motivated.
There you go.
One thing about me, if you gave me a list of 1,000 things, I'd be the first one done with those 1,000 things. If you're like, this is what you have to do, these 1,000 steps, and you got like 2 years to do it, I'd have that shit done in 10 months.
Okay.
So that's what I did,
And you got the dolphins.
and good for
I've
me.
seen those. Those are actually you actually have
Pewter.
Like I know they're on
Pewter
the, there you
dolphins.
go, pewter dolphins.
So like in the Navy, when you see a Navy officer, and I'm sure it's like this with most of the services, but the color of the dolphins in this case, or the wings or whatever, the color indicates whether they're officer or enlisted. So
Really?
my dolphins are silver, which means I'm enlisted. So anytime you see silver or pewter, that means that person's enlisted. It could be a chief, it could be an enlisted
So
person.
what does an
like me.
officer have?
Officers gold. So
Really?
you see gold dolphins or gold wings or gold whatever. Those are officers. They're the same. They went to the same type of schooling I did. Officers have to go to nuclear power school just like I did. They have a different one. And then, but when they come out, they get gold
dolphins.
and I get silver.
Gotcha.
Right. And then the military, obviously, any officer has to be saluted by any enlisted person. I always thought that was weird when I was in the military. So, like, I have this chief on the boat. He was in the Navy like 30 years, right? And then we'd have.
And what's a chief? Like, is that an officer or an enlisted?
It's enlisted,
Okay.
but they're like senior, okay? And then I always thought it was weird. I'm just 18, 19, 20-year-old kid, and I'm like, wait a second. So my cobb, my chief of the boat, who's been in the Navy like 30 years, when there's a brand new kid out of Annapolis or a brand new kid out of college, and he's an ensign, and he comes to our boat, and he's been in the Navy like a week, he walks up to my cobb, and my cobb has to salute him. And I'm like, he's the saltiest guy I know. This guy's been underwater longer than I'd been alive at that point, right? And he has to salute that kid that walks up to him. The kid's 22 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, like that's really weird to me. Like in my brain, I'm like, why the fuck am I enlisted? Like I voluntarily signed my life to be the person that's always going to have to salute the other person. This was like brewing in my head when I was like young Tom McDermott, thinking about how bad I fucked my life up when I'm
I've
All
only
for
got
that $100.
5 years and
I had some really
6 months left.
I would be honest to God, guys, because I really figured it out when I was on the sub. I figured out my whole life. I'm like, I fucked myself so hard. Like I'm stuck on this goddamn submarine. And I would study college. I did my first year of college underwater. And you could ask any of my fellow squids. I would sit between the main engines and the engine room where it's loud as hell and hot. But we were under cold water.
I know you said you screwed your life up, but in reality, as you look back, I think, and I've heard you say
How I
this,
felt
is like
at the time.
actually the Navy is what got you motivated to
Right.
be where you are today. And
True.
if you hadn't gone in the Navy,
I would
you'd
never
be working
be-
at the golf course.
I'd be probably mowing lawns still.
Right.
So but I would sit between the main engines where it's the main engine. It'd be like 98 degrees where I was, but the water surrounding the submarine would be like 40 degrees. So the walls are sweating and it's generally cold, but you're between these two super loud, hot engines. I'd sit there with my jacket on and I'd read like textbooks for hours. And I did my first year of college like that. And then when you get back to port, so let's say it was American literature, which is one of the things I studied. I'd get back to port and I'd be like the whole deployment. I'd study American literature. And then as soon as I get back to port, they would give military people the ability to take the American literature. They called it a CLEP test. And if you passed it, in this case, it was 6 credits. And if you passed it, I got all 6 credits for American
And you could
literature.
use that on your GI Bill when you got back.
No, and then when I went to Purdue, I had all these credits I
That's
built
what I'm
up
saying.
in the
You could
military.
use them
right.
when you
and
use
I
your
literally,
GI Bill.
They literally like went check.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
military too.
Yeah.
And when you're military, and I was Navy guy, and they were like, yeah, we want you to go to college here.
Sure.
So they were really generous, and they literally, maybe it wasn't a full year, but it was like,
At least a semester.
yeah, it was like probably like 20 credits, which is huge.
So did you just say, yeah, I want to go to college after I'm done? They gave you like the course books or?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Literally, that's exactly what it was.
So that's
Bill.
available to
I forgot which
to
course
people
I
in the
took. I
Navy.
took American history. I remember that. I took American literature. I was big into American history always. I was
Sure.
started when I was in the Navy. I started geeking out on politics, really getting deep, listening to like, politics talk all the time. But like, yeah, it was So anyway, I get out of the Navy, and it was the best thing I did in my life. But being on a submarine for 4+ years, I was in the Navy.
It gives you
6.
some, like I said, it gives you some street cred to talk about what happened recently.
Yeah, I don't know any of my fellow submariners that ever thought about dying. We knew it was always possible, but you just didn't think about it. And being on a submarine is really like being on an airplane. It's very smooth. It's very like non-chaotic. Even like we went through hurricanes, hardly moved a boat at all.
That's amazing.
We'd be
is
like,
that because like underwater there's just less?
There's no waves where we are.
The
I mean, you
hurricanes
could
up
feel
top?
it. What you could feel is like when we're at 150 feet, you can't feel anything. It's like on a smooth airplane flight, and you're only going like 30 miles an hour, really, right? So you're like, you can feel movement and sort of like just that general shaky feeling of movement, but like it's not like rocking side to side. But you'd go through a hurricane, you could feel a little bit, but just a little bit. Just like, oh my God, it must be really bad up top. That's how we'd be because we're underwater.
The speed of a boat is speed of the sub always reflected in knots, no matter if you're on top
then
or
that's
below?
another thing. When you hear submariners, if they know what they're talking about, they don't say sub, they say boat.
Okay.
So like you'll hear people talking about boats, and then you'll hear people talking about subs. And when I hear them like, oh, this sub did this and this sub did that, it's like, this dude is clueless. Like you don't hear submariners.
Because the vernacular is
the current
boat.
submariners call it boats. Yeah.
So, okay. So I guess my question was, I'll use the right term to sound cool. When you're on the boat, is the speed always reflected in knots, whether you're on top of the water or below?
Knots.
Always knots.
Right. And if I remember, it's like 1.1 or 1.2. There's more knots to miles per hour. So like 1 mile an hour is like 1.1 knot, something like that. And I was one of my watch stations was called Throttleman, which is in the engine room.
Sounds like
you
a
would
fun
think
job.
the Throttleman would be up in the bridge close to the captain and the dudes that steer. And we have one guy. It's not a joystick, okay? We have actually two people that steer the submarine.
Yikes.
Yeah, the helmsman and the planesman. I'm going back on
John,
memory.
are we getting learned here?
So like the helmsman and the planesman,
learned.
It's very scholarly.
they sit right by the captain, and then next to them is the cob who controls the water in the ship, moving the water forward
Now
and
we know
backward.
it's the chief of the boat.
So the pitch of the ship, the forward and backward, is controlled by the cob who moves water around from forward to backward to make sure that you're not like pitched one way or up or down. And then the helmsman and the planesman sit right next to each other, and the officer of the deck's over the top of them. One of them does left to right, left to right. The other one goes up and down. There's two different people that do that. We don't have a joystick for that. It's 3 people that control the submarine. 3.
That's interesting.
And then you have one little freaking Nintendo joystick controls this one.
Is that for redundancy purposes? Do you think, or is it for...
they're all super. There goes our dog to play. It's all like super important. Like the water is really important because you don't want to be pitched the wrong way.
When you say the water, is that like you described
We
last
control
episode
water.
with the
the ballast tanks. We
Yeah.
control the water. There's pumps inside the submarine that move the water forward, backward, side to side, so that you're not pitched to the left. You're underwater. They don't. The submarine doesn't care if it's pitched to the left. It's everybody that lives in the submarine that cares. So you have to move the water to the right side and level it out.
And when you say
you
the
don't want
water,
to be
you're
pitched
talking about
forward.
the water within the hull.
Yeah, right. The water.
ballast.
You have water inside in a little bubble that saves your life, right? And then move water around to like pitch the
Really
sub
cool.
the right way.
And
right?
this didn't have any of
3
that.
people. No, this didn't have any of that.
So all right, let's talk. We should probably let's talk a little bit about what happened and get your
So
perspective on it.
this is interesting. I started hearing rumors about this, and then combine the rumors I'm hearing on TikTok with the knowledge I had as a Navy submariner. I knew that when I was in the Navy in the 80s, 90s, we called it AUTEC, okay? It was down by Puerto Rico. It was an underwater range, and it was not just a small little range. It was like hundreds and hundreds of nautical miles of no matter what goes into this box, the Navy could hear you. It's like we have it. If it's a Russian sub, if it's Chinese,
And do you mean on the water or under? You mean under?
Either.
Okay.
If an airplane crashes into it, we would know where it is.
Okay.
Which is a cool feeling, by the way. Like if you crash an airplane into the ocean, we could hear where it is and probably get you pretty close to where you are.
And people
which
are
could
listening, or computers are listening?
Computers are listening.
Okay, got it.
But like, so I knew this, and I knew generally where it was because we always knew generally where we were. Okay, and I'm talking like Bermuda Triangle. Let's just say that
You knew you weren't in the North Sea.
if you're in the Bermuda Triangle, we know what you're doing. The government does, and it's only been better. Like this is 1980s knowledge. I'm
Right,
going off
think
of
about that.
1990s, so it's only gotten better, right? So when I was in the Navy in the Bermuda Triangle area, everything that happened in that area, the Navy knows about. And probably this goes back to Cuban Missile Crisis and stuff like that, right? This is the area we're talking about, right? So I'm not familiar if the Atlantic Ocean has that or off the coast of Russia. I don't know if these things exist, right? So obviously, this is more up by Newfoundland, up in the North Atlantic, where this incident occurred.
The Titan sub from Ocean Gate.
Right. And then I start seeing
Submersible.
TikToks, and I see like Navy officers and CIA people saying, these guys are dead. The Navy heard an implosion shortly after it went missing.
And does the Navy know what that sounds like?
Yeah. Yeah. So sound and water travels for hundreds, if not thousands of miles. Like the little pinging that everybody's talking about, that could have been in a whole different part of the ocean.
Interesting.
Sound travels like continuously underwater, which is why when you're trying to be quiet on a submarine, you don't drop your tools. It goes ting, 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 down the whole submarine, and everybody wants to kill you. And if you're in war, you're dead. You won't be working on equipment in war because you can't take a chance that somebody will drop a tool.
So, wow, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. So that's how important it is to be quiet on the sub.
You go to bed when you're not doing anything. Wow. You literally walk around. We have tennis shoes on all the time. You don't walk around in high-heeled, not high-heeled. I
just picture a bunch of guys in the sub in high heels.
No, in regular like dress shoes. You don't walk around like that.
Even the officers.
Everybody. They don't even care what you look like when you're underwater. You can grow a beard. You can grow your hair long. It doesn't matter. Nobody sees you. It's just your fellow
just like, be quiet.
Yeah, just be quiet. Mm-hmm. Go to work. Don't because the Russian subs, Russian Navy sings a lot, and you could hear them underwater. They could be hundreds of miles away, and you could hear, because the whole boat would be singing. They'd be like, la, 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 probably getting drunk, too. And we're like, this sucks, man. Navy subs suck. These guys are singing. We're all pissed off, right? But, yeah, you could hear everything underwater.
So basically,
the
implosion, right?
The U.S. government knew that this was imploded.
I heard something yesterday from one of the admirals that said, look, we heard it, but the fact of the matter is we didn't want to lose hope and wanted to make sure that we...
They heard it. They knew they were probably dead. So they send out minimal amount of ships. They're not sending the whole U.S. Navy out there. They're like, listen, we're going to send a couple ships out there to verify what we already know.
They sent a bunch.
And they sent them out there, and they verified it. Once they saw one tail, they said, yep.
Yeah,
we know. They saw the tail of the submersible, and they said, that's it.
Can you explain kind of like implosion and how that, why that would happen? Or
no, it's tremendous pressure. I think they said, I heard a stat. It was like every square inch, it's like if you had 400 elephants standing on every square inch of your body.
I heard the analogy of the Empire State Building on top of you.
Right. You're not going to make it. So if there is so they said that this submersible, the Titan, first off, you know what we didn't have on Navy submarines, Jill?
What?
Like this Titan reminds me of the Navy submarine a little bit, except for one factor. We didn't have fucking windows on a submarine, right? You know what? Windows are weak. I had titanium steel, 2 layers of it surrounding me when I went underwater. We didn't have windows. We didn't need windows because we didn't have tourists.
Well, it seems like
because we weren't looking at things. We had sonar and we could hear it, and that's how you see. Windows are weak. I don't care what you say. This guy's like, this window weighs 80 pounds. That window freaking broke. I guarantee you. That window it caved in.
Or something?
If it starts even breaking, they said this window's it's like 7 inches thick and it can withstand pressure like 20,000 feet worth of pressure. And then they're like, but if it does start to break, it gives us feature. It starts to crack and gives us a warning. We got to get to the top. What the fuck?
Pass.
Like, I've never heard anybody say that to me. Good. See, if the wall starts to crack, it gives us time to get to the top.
That window's starting to crack. You better get...
let's keep going.
Oh, my God.
So many red flags.
No.
Right?
No.
Right?
So many.
So, John, we've got a little video on an implosion, I think. I don't know if John's got that up. This is crazy. Jill found this. This is like
a tanker that holds gasoline.
Look at that. Look how fast
they pull a vacuum on it somehow, but they show. But this is, you have to understand, that's not even close to what happened to these people.
Why? Explain that.
Because this is just, they had some type of mechanism to pull a vacuum inside these tanks, and then they smash on themselves, right? But when you're underwater, it's relenting. It never stops until you're a little piece of rock. Yeah. They turned this submersible into nothing. The water did, and the bodies are annihilated. There's no body left. It's part of the sea now. They're not going to find anything other than their shoes, and their body is annihilated and turned into water.
Just because of the pressure.
The pressure that's not relenting.
So do you agree that
6,000 psi on every part of your body? It's like unbelievably high pressure.
I was reading some things that said there's no way they knew what was happening.
They didn't.
Okay.
I'm wondering, I think it probably went like this. Hey, the window's cracking. Alarms go off. They're like, I heard rumors that they drop ballast. If
what
they
does that
drop,
mean?
So they have a bunch of weight on this intentionally. Let's say they're carrying 500 pounds of pipe, which is what it was, right? Their plan is when you want to go to the surface, you start dropping this pipe, and then you start becoming more buoyant, right? I heard, but obviously if there's an implosion, I'm sure the ballast falls off, but the ballast was off. which means if they were like, fuck, the window's cracking, drop the ballast,
start floating up, and then implosion.
gone. Implosion.
And didn't realize
They probably maybe 10 seconds of what the fuck is going on,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, bam, you're dead.
And that's it.
But like nothing. Once the walls caved in, they didn't suffer. They were annihilated.
That's one, I guess.
Like quickly. It'd be like sitting on a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Right?
If there's any saving grace, right?
Yeah,
For
they
the
were
families,
annihilated.
They,
Like-
they didn't know anything.
I was obviously I'm getting deep into the rabbit hole on this and I'm on TikTok and I'm like, what happens if a nuclear submarine implodes? And they have animations of nuclear submarines that implode because the thing is, you have the nuclear reactor and it's a nuclear explosion, and we were always aware of that. And I knew I was dead meat. There's nothing that was going to save me if anything happens. That's what my saving grace too. We're not going to be stuck on the bottom of the ocean. We're going to die quickly, right? But the nuclear explosion is completely contained by the ocean as well. No matter how deep you are, the ocean swallows it. You wouldn't even know on the surface. It's just like
It's like outer space or something. It's like a black hole.
It's like it is. It's like enveloping. It's like
That
it
is
covers everything.
amazing.
There's no way for the heat to get out because the ocean's just attacking it from all
like
angles.
I'm like open mouth gaping about
I know.
that.
It's
That's
incredible.
crazy.
I know. Navy's crazy stuff, man. I got to see cool stuff when I was a little kid.
All the see, I think this goes to all the redundancies though. Like,
Yeah.
you know, all the
Dude,
like
the Navy
you
subs are safe. Like the Navy nuclear reactor design. We haven't had an accident since the 60s because it's so freaking paranoid. Kevin, you would be so happy when you get in there and you'd see all this stuff. And I'm not trying to make fun.
No, I know.
I'm not. I know how you are.
Yeah.
You have backups to the backups, right?
I try.
The Navies have backups to the backups to the backups. It's like if this happens, then go to this. If this fails, you go to this. If this fails, you go to this. There's like redundancy.
And that's how you want your
Fuck yeah.
submarines.
Like, I don't want to die.
You got 100. How many guys?
None of
200
my
guys
shipmates
on
wanted
there.
to die. None of
No.
us wanted to die.
Nor does the Navy want to lose all the men and women, or do they want to lose the equipment?
Or have to explain to people we had a nuclear explosion in the Atlantic Ocean.
But don't worry, it got all sucked up by the
got
black
all-
hole.
right.
Everything's fine.
So hey, I remember a couple terms I threw out last, and I couldn't remember on the air. The floating antenna I was talking about that fell
Yes,
behind
the little
sub.
snake.
It's like a snake that you drag on the surface. That's called a towed array. I remembered as soon as I
Wait a
got out
minute.
of
How do you
Towed, TOWED.
like towing it.
Towed
Okay.
array. Right.
ARRAY.
And then the CO2 scrubbers is another thing. Everybody was
I don't
talking
think we
about
talked
oxygen.
about that.
Like they
Did
were
I
like,
miss this episode?
we were here last time. But we didn't get it. We didn't go
I don't
deep.
remember any of these terms.
You guys know why I wore my dolphins today now, right?
Yes.
Because we didn't go that
Deep
deep.
dive.
But like,
whoops, that's a
we were
bad
talking about the amount of oxygen they had left, but which is important, obviously. But what we weren't talking about is did they have a scrubber on board, a CO2 scrubber? Like if we sealed off this room, guys, and we started like panting and breathing, the CO2 coming out will poison us just quicker than the oxygen will run out.
Oh, see, I didn't think about that.
I know.
You're
I
actually
wasn't
exhaling.
either. So what was going on with the scrubbers? If they were alive on the bottom
So
of
in
the
other
ocean,
words, even though you heard they had
96
quote unquote
hours,
96
right.
hours, did that take into account the CO2 that was going into the air?
because no, I don't think it did, and that's something that people don't realize.
That'd be
on
a
the sub.
question. I want to hear the answer to that.
We had scrubbers in the Navy that were constantly working, and they were just as important as the.
Is that just like a filter?
Yeah, it's literally like a filter. Well, no, ours were. We also had precipitators, they called them, which charged particles and removed them also, and I was in charge of those. It would
These are the things I love that
Yeah,
are
it
on
was
the
cool
U.S.
stuff.
Navy ships.
Yeah,
I mean,
Boats,
they probably
I'm
didn't
sorry,
have any
boats.
snacks either. I mean,
snacks,
snacks.
a lot. We
No,
ate-
No,
them.
not
They're
you
saying
guys,
on the
them.
Titan.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
they probably didn't bring snacks.
They were only supposed to be gone 6 to 8 hours.
That's
Right.
like a Gilligan's
no, I know.
episode.
4-hour tour. Or wait,
Yeah.
how many hours?
3 hours.
3 hour
3
tour.
hours?
You know what it is
You're
though?
right.
It's like when this dude is filling out the release and it talked about how he was going to die and all
Like
these
3
risks.
times in the first paragraph.
People
or
just
something.
like trust businesses, you know, like because I see these people that are like flying in Richard Branson's company, the Blue Origin, where they go to like outer space. People are going to die doing this too. It's going to happen soon. I'm not hoping it on anybody, but like these are experimental things we're doing. And I was looking at TikTok the other day. There's a dude, you know, the little bike gliding helicopter things I'm talking about, Joe. They got the big fan on the back.
Yes.
They got a big
You see 'em
fan.
by Lansing Airport even.
And then there's like the glider on top.
And some dude's like
and the dude
on
like,
it.
"Zzz." I saw a dude at like 10,000 feet.
No.
I'm like, he's up there with airplanes. I'm like, this fucking dude is on a kite.
They don't worry. They told me it was safe.
This is safe, dude. I could go to
Natural
10,000.
selection.
That's what I'm saying,
Natural
Joe.
selection.
So, like, I think now people are just so trustworthy of corporations that they're just like, I trust you. I'm going to give you my life.
All right.
And 250 grand.
And 250
yeah,
grand.
don't
I mean,
forget.
does
Sorry.
this not prove that rich people are not inherently smarter than poor people?
So I have a window. All right. So you brought up the fact that I try to be careful with things, and so funny story that happened. So I, of course, came back from vacation early.
Yeah.
Under Tom's theory that I changed my flight to make sure I didn't.
You
miss
heard that
Lockpod.
episode. He's like, I'm coming back today, Jana.
But so
They don't
while
have
I was,
ads. I gotta get back.
One of the things that the kids did while I was gone with Jana was whitewater rafting, and Jana calls me afterwards and sent some pictures. They had a great time, and Jana says, you would have walked out.
Really? Why?
And I said, why? And she said, well, first of all, I knew the water was high and everything was rushing, and I was like, they closed the creek at one point when I was there. I was like,
Which
you
is
guys
the
aren't
point
going.
of whitewater rafting?
Maybe,
It's
but
supposed
it
to
was-
be like,
Sure.
could you give me a day when
Can
it's
you
very
fat-
still, when we could paddle instead?
So anyway, after they signed the waiver, which of course is the other issue here, Janice says, yeah, we got to the river and we were ready to go in, and the other company that was there, she said all the rafts were really shiny. The staff had like really nice coordinated colors, and she said our company that I signed us up for it seemed like it was a bunch of stoners that were running
Nice.
it with the boats all look shitty.
It's like Bob's Rafts.
That's like that.
Dude,
She's
Bob's
like, you would have
Raft.
walked away. She said you would have walked away.
Where's Bob? He's in the van hitting a bong.
Duct tape on the raft. Together.
Grateful Dead shirts
And
on.
she said, yeah. She said they did, John. She said these guys. She said, but they were great. They said they knew the river.
Bob's
they had a
Rafts.
lot of fun.
We're gonna have fun at Bob's Rafts.
They did it.
Sound system's going out.
They survived. Actually,
Jana
she said
booked this?
Janet, and she said they had a
Jana's
blast.
an adventurous woman.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. She said I wish I would have done the advanced instead of the intermediate.
Really?
I was like, fuck that. I'd have been like you
So
said.
did
Where's
you leave
the easy
early
river?
so you didn't have to do this?
No. Although I think Janet
think there's
probably
a little bit of-
scheduled it after. I've been whitewater rafting.
Janet scheduled it on purpose that day.
I think that's probably true.
She's like, Kevin will never do this.
I mean, I've done it before,
Did,
but
did they go skydiving the day after that?
yes. And then they were looking for a submersible.
Yeah.
I think the day after.
Hey, we were going to play a Simpsons episode for you that showed you that the Simpsons again predicted submarine getting stuck underwater, submersible.
This is crazy.
Going to the location of not the Titanic, but it was a ship just like it to retrieve.
And this
Buried
goes
treasure.
back to another episode where we where
Yeah.
the Simpsons. What did they predict before?
They predict
Trump
everything.
going down the
Yeah.
escalator.
So here it is, Homer Simpson. Can you play it, John? Oh,
Oh, you want the audio?
Sure.
just that part. Oh. Whatever. It's Homer Simpson.
In a submersible.
Oxygen low. Oxygen lower.
Oxygen gone.
He's stuck underwater in a submersible. One man submersible.
And he loses.
That's where it left off.
That's it.
Oh, no,
crazy.
does he die?
Well,
I think he lives.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
he lives.
Yeah.
All right. So there's the submersible.
To give you an idea where we're going with the rest of this episode, we want to update you after the break on what's going on with a story we first unveiled in season 2, episode 23.
So for those Lockpod listeners that have been with us since the beginning, you may recall season
We're
2,
gonna flashback
episode 23.
If you know what we're talking about. But how cool is that, by the way, Jill?
Season
I don't
2?
even know what we're talking
Season
about.
2.
I know.
What are we
like,
on
So
now?
excited.
you know
to
what's
find
cool,
out.
John, is like now that we've been computerizing all of our
Computerizing.
all of our
Digitizing.
Commodore. Now that we have a
Dude.
Commodore 64.
And there's the title.
computerizing.
And
now that we're
there goes the
computerizing.
title. Now that
Nice.
we're
I didn't mean to
computerizing.
get that title today, but now that we're computerizing all of our episodes,
is
you could just
awesome.
you could type in a search term and it
That
just
is
pulls
great.
up. Right. Computerizing. All right.
Good. Let's do some ads and
Strategery.
come back.
And then when we come back after the second setup
More
of ads,
computerizing.
we have
I just pulled my back again. Dude.
Shots on the floor. Mrs. Besmer, can you please deliver the walker?
the walker. Please get the walker. Lil Wayne update. A Lil Wayne update when we get back, and a free Lil Wayne ticket giveaway update when we come back in the third segment. So
Yes, stick
if you
around.
want to find out more about the free ticket giveaway, come back in the third segment. In the second segment, we're going to update you on season 2 story we
That was
unveiled.
awesome.
So let's go. Let's start some ads.
Calumet Brewing. Whether you're on the golf course or just spending a day in the sun, Michelob Ultra with only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and 4.2% ABV is the perfect beer for a summer day. Michelob Ultra brews a light lager that's worth every single sip. So no matter if you're kicking back after a long workout, a pickup game at the park, or a day out in the fairways, you're sure to enjoy this great light beer. Don't just drink it, enjoy it. And big announcement, Tuesday on Season 9, Episode 20, Steve has figured out how to give away the golf bag.
What?
Really?
Yes.
All right.
It's happening. So if you want this golf bag.
Breaking news on LockPod. The crew finally figures out how to give away golf bag donated to them by Calumet Brewery.
We're going to leave it outside Kevin's office. First one here gets it.
It's going to be on Calumet Avenue. Don't hit it.
First person that grabs it gets it.
So thank you.
Does this have anything to do with the legal paperwork we got from Cal Brewery?
No.
They're like, you got to get rid of the damn golf bag. Sitting in the studio.
So thank you, Cal Brewery. We will be giving away the golf bag on Tuesday.
All right.
Powering America. Looking for a new career in 2023? Earn a competitive wage while you gain valuable hands-on experience as an electrician. Did we mention employer-paid benefits, including health insurance, pension, and an annuity? If so, visit jacked697.org. Sponsored by Powering America.
Byway Brewing. Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious taproom and an outside patio. The brewing equipment offers a unique backdrop for any event, like weddings, like reunions, corporate parties, etc. Byway is conveniently located just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu. For more information, check out bywaybrewing.beer.
Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give them a call and schedule your consultation today with somebody who is in court and at the jail every single day. Call John Cantrell at 219-5544-LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife, Kristen, make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Rogers Roofing. When you want the best for your home and family, trust the best in the business, Rogers Roofing. Rogers Roofing has transformed homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland for more than 54 years, providing quality roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the best warranties in the industry.
Sorry,
Whoa,
they can't hear
John.
that.
Oh, they couldn't hear that.
Jesus.
Sursic put this link in chat. I had to play it.
We got blasted in
Jesus.
our ears from our technical advisor. So.
Lord.
We want to update you on a story that was broken on LockPod in season 2 about a person I know well. I knew well. I haven't really talked much with them lately, but we're talking about Portage Mayor James Snyder. At the time, Portage Mayor James Snyder, not the mayor anymore. In fact, the mayor that replaced Mayor Snyder was replaced by another mayor who is running for re-election right now. So this goes back that far. And I remember the day that I learned that Mayor Snyder was indicted. Do you remember that day, Kevin?
I do, because there were multiple indictments that day.
Our sheriff that day got indicted. The sheriff was Lake County Sheriff John Bunchich. And on that same day, it was 2 days before that day that Mayor Snyder and Sheriff Bunchich were indicted. 2 days before that, all of our world was rocked because Donald Trump won the presidency. Ugh. So that's how far ago we're talking. Now, James Snyder was found guilty by a jury on 2 counts within a year or so of his indictment. And then he appealed both of them. All right.
He was actually, found guilty in 2019, actually.
Okay.
First time. First trial.
So it was a couple years after he's indicted, right? He's found guilty. He appeals, right?
He's found guilty on 2 counts, acquitted on 1.
Okay.
And then he asked the district court judge, which is the trial court.
But they refiled those charges.
Well, he got a new trial on 1 count from the district court, not even up on appeal.
Right.
From the district court.
Okay.
Yep.
So he goes, but now, keep in mind now Snyder is going through the appeals process. He was found guilty. He was fighting his conviction and not in jail yet. Now, John Bunchich goes to jail right around 2018, 2019.
Yeah, let's say it's around the same time, 2019.
Right? John Bunchich has been in jail 6 years almost. And he was indicted on the same day as James Snyder. And James Snyder is still fighting his conviction up until our recent development.
Yeah, so recently, after he was convicted again in 2021 on the new trial, there was a new trial on the bribery charge. Another jury convicted him in 2021. He was sentenced in July of 2021, I believe, by the judge who was sitting by designation from Illinois, Judge Canali. And since that time, he then appealed to the 7th Circuit. And June 15th, there was a 42-page opinion authored by Judge Hamilton, who was a judge from actually Indiana, and on the 7th Circuit, and they affirmed the conviction on June 15th.
Of 2023.
Yes.
Which is 27 months after he was convicted for the second time.
Right, and he's out on, I don't know what kind of bail or bond or secured bond or reconnaissance bond, but he's on bond.
So now we were talking about this. So let's say, for instance, because James hasn't been in jail since he's been appealing to the Seventh Circuit, and an appeal just came back against him.
I don't think he's been in jail yet.
No. Excuse me. I'm sorry. He's been convicted and out on bond since that day. So how does that work, Kevin? So let's say it's like a $100,000 bond. So James says, okay, here's a $100,000 clerk of the district court, and does he get that money back once he reports to prison?
Yeah, so usually as long as you've satisfied all your conditions of release, and usually it's in federal court, you go before a magistrate after you've been indicted or arrested, and at that point they set your conditions of release or they set your bond. So he was actually out probably shortly after he was indicted, if he even spent any time.
But he had to give them money to get out.
Either money. Sometimes they'll take security.
Oh, so like if you own your
like
house,
a house or other assets.
This is the title of my house, and if I don't come back, you get my house.
Yeah, or someone can actually put it up for you.
Right.
Even I think you actually we were talking
Sam
about this.
Bankman-Fried.
There you go. His parents, I think, put up
his parents' friend. He had to do like $1 million bond.
It was more.
Yeah,
it was $5 million or something.
And his parents put up their house, and then his parents' friends put up their house.
Okay.
So if Sam Bankman-Fried, who's the founder of
Bitcoin or whatever site,
what
it's
is
not
that,
Bitcoin, John, but I forget what it is.
FTX.
I don't
FTX.
think I like anyone
Exchange.
enough, anyone's kid
Agree,
enough to
right?
put my house
right?
But you
for
got-
somebody else's kid.
Those houses were probably bought with FTX money.
Yeah, it's true,
Maybe,
probably,
right?
right?
It's,
But
all,
still.
it's a vicious circle.
And plus,
Exactly.
I'm
Crypto,
sure he's not going to screw over
the
his
land of crypto.
parents and his.
I would
friend.
say it's probably been done before.
But what I'm
Are
saying
you sure?
is, I don't know, man.
People have
You're
gone
right.
on the lam.
But
I'm
where's
sure
he going to
for-
go?
Well, I mean, he
No
can't
matter
go anywhere.
if you were going to go and try to hide from the feds, where would you go?
I don't know. I mean, the
There's
only
certain
person
countries.
No,
well,
no,
Greece,
Give up your
You
hiding
can't go
spot.
underwater even.
Yeah, you can't.
Greece is one of them, right? We have.
Oh, yeah.
There's one of the
Oh,
politicians
that's
from East
right.
Chicago
Yes.
that went to Greece.
Frankie Colensis,
And he's still there.
because they don't have an extradition policy.
Okay,
I mean,
so like if you're going to go anywhere, you'd go a place like that, right?
Yes, but why? I mean, then your life's ruined and your family's here and you're
At
over
least
in
you're not
Greece.
in prison.
I guess
You're always
he'd be
looking
done a
over
long
your
time
shoulder.
ago. But I mean,
No.
wants-
I'm not talking about Colensis. I'm talking
Okay.
about Sam Bankman-Fried.
Oh, yeah.
So like at least he goes to Greece and like.
Good luck getting there. They took his passport. I mean, I guess you
Right.
could. I mean, how do you?
Yeah, that's true.
And unless you're gonna like enter another conspiracy with somebody who then would get in trouble for like flying you to Greece.
Right. Like that Toyota executive did, Golson.
Yeah.
They put him in like a shipping cart.
Yes.
What?
Yeah,
Yes.
dude. He was in Japan going through the same type of thing.
Crazy. It was in Japanese
Right.
law.
Right, in
Yes.
Japanese law, and he was
Yes.
going down, and he knew it, and he like was a real small guy, and he got into a shipping cart, and he had these two dudes that shipped him like out. They were like taking him to the airport and stuff, and they got him into,
A private jet or something.
and
like
they took
that.
him to another country, and then they popped up in the cart when he was in the other country, and he claimed, "I'm here, I'm seeking asylum," and
I don't
that was
know.
a big
I want to
deal.
follow up on that.
Yeah,
I
what
don't know
happened?
what-
That was
I
a while.
don't-
That was a few years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going off the top of my head. I
wanna
think
look into that.
I think he was brought to justice.
Someone,
I'm pretty sure he
someone will. And
His name
chat
was-
will let us know.
Coulson.
It was a Toyota executive. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah,
Was it Toyota? Or
I'm pretty sure
or-
Japan got him back. I'm pretty
Was it
sure.
Toyota?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'm going off the top of my head, so that wasn't in the notes for the record.
No.
But anyway, I thought when I saw this article that came out that talked about Mayor Snyder's recent misfortune. Okay, what's that? Go
I'm reading the
see.
headline. How I
Yes.
Escaped Japan in a Box. BBC.
By the
BBC
way,
is-
give me a little perk. Give me a little credit.
Big-
I'm like
big
off
credit,
top,
big credit.
off top of
That's
my head.
impressive.
Not for
Thank
necessarily
you.
knowing the story, because I knew the
I
story, but
remember
knowing
his
the
name,
name
too.
was
Right.
was big.
You're
You're good with
of,
names.
There's a lot of shit.
You're
up
good
in
with
there.
names.
I just don't know how to grab it all in time. Like
It-
the
it
Totore.
comes out randomly,
It
by
does.
the way.
Like I'm in the shower. I'm like Totore. I'm like, what the fuck? I couldn't do that on the air, right? So
The thrill is that finally I'm going to be able to tell the story.
It's crazy.
That's
the
box?
That's it. In a box. There's
See?
the box. A picture of the box.
it's like
Looks
it was
like
a
a
that's
dead
like a
speaker
roadie
crate.
box.
I agree. 'cause
Yeah,
it
yeah.
looks
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
nice
a roadie
box.
box, but you got to
I'm
put
thinking
air
like
holes.
a wooden crate.
Why
you
does this
know, like
roadie
with
box
hay.
have air holes in it?
Right.
Right.
Oh, that's cool. We'll talk about that another time. That's great.
So anyway, going back to Mayor Snyder, I think it's incredible that he was indicted on the same day as John Bunchich. John Bunchich has been in jail for 6+ years, and Mayor Snyder has yet to do one single day in prison. I think that's incredible. And like, I don't know how much it cost for his lawyers to do what they did over the last 3 years, 4 years, where they've literally filed every motion they could to delay his ultimate.
I guess
reporting
what
to
I was,
prison.
I guess as kind of a lawyer and a practicing lawyer,
Kind
I
of a
guess,
lawyer. You're a very good lawyer.
Thank you. But I guess what I would say is that, I think there were very interesting legal arguments that were made
Agree.
in Snyder's case.
But that could happen
And
in any case.
Sure,
couldn't it?
it could. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to like sit here and throw any of Bunsich's lawyers under the bus because maybe the issues were different. But in Snyder's case, they were very interesting, and they were litigated significantly up and down to the Seventh Circuit twice within the district court. A lot of motions,
That's what I'm
post-trial
saying.
motions.
So give Snyder credit for but I don't know how much it cost him. That had to be $250,000.
And it seems to me the feds are pretty much sick of it and are like, hey,
Agree.
man.
So the feds filed a motion that
to
said
revoke his bond.
he lost in the Seventh Circuit. Unless he's going to file to the U.S. Supreme Court, which I doubt is going to be accepted. If he does,
I'm
the
sure
case
he's
is
going
over.
to file.
Right. But they're
for a
like, the case is
petition.
over, right?
Yeah, and I think,
he should report to prison on Tuesday, I think they said.
That's what they're trying to
When
do.
we say Tuesday, that's like the next Lockpot episode.
Yes.
They're literally like, we're done
the
waiting.
hearing's today.
We've been waiting. I know, the hearing's this morning in a couple hours. Mm-hmm. The feds are fed up. And they're like, we've been doing this. The feds are fed up.
Yeah.
And they've been doing this for 5 years. And they're like, this
time for this guy to go.
Right. And his sentence really is not horrible, I guess.
Really, there's no, the court has discretion on whether to revoke his bond, even on the Seventh Circuit appeal. There are guys in prison awaiting their Seventh Circuit opinion.
And if it goes their way, they get out. If it goes their way, they get out that day.
Potentially,
usually.
even maybe not. I mean, you don't
Well,
necessarily.
you've seen it before, where it comes out and they're like, "Let this person out immediately."
But sometimes it's like keep him in.
Right.
Let's say a violent issue. We're going to keep him in and retry him, and when his trial comes, we'll bring him from prison. We'll let you.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So.
And then, by the way, interesting point on the way out of Portage. Obviously, Mayor Snyder's got a lot going on. He was the mayor for 2 terms. I think he was removed in his second term. He was
Republican mayor
of Portage. He is suing the city of Portage right now also. So he has litigation on that side as well.
Yeah, he's suing the city attorney, the current mayor, a couple other people, and saying they refuse to let witnesses speak
That's a
to him. 1983
case too. It's got to be because he's saying
I'm sure
they interfered with the civil
and there's
rights.
a motion to dismiss pending.
But those are ugly, freaking nasty cases.
I don't know if that goes anywhere. We'll see.
Well, what he's saying is the city deprived him of civil rights by saying don't testify in this case.
Well, I mean, witnesses have
but that's
the right
a 1983. I agree.
They do. Witnesses have the right to talk or not talk to people.
Right. So anyway, a lot of litigation going on in Portage right now. Mayor Snyder is going to court as we speak to find out whether or not he reports to jail next week, next week. So obviously a sad situation for the mayor and his family. He's got a beautiful family, a nice wife and little kids. So, but
we'll see if
he's accused of
justice will be served.
I have a feeling if I were a betting man, I think he goes to prison on
I
Tuesday.
think so too.
Next week.
Time is up.
I don't think they're going to give him more than a few days to get ready.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I think the judge gave, first of all, interestingly enough, in federal law, there's these things called the sentencing guidelines, and it used to be you had to stick with them or the judge had to stick with them. Now they have a lot of discretion to whether to go up or down. And Judge Connolly departed downward on the guideline range by about half.
He gave him a really good sentence.
Well, I don't know if anything's a really good
No,
sentence.
I agree.
But, I mean, you got a great sentence.
No, his life is
ruined.
His life is ruined. Okay, he's a felon, all that stuff. But as far as the time away from home, it's going to be a year and a half, right?
I mean, any time away from home is too much. But
I agree,
mean, I think the
you're talking to a guy that did freaking 4 years underwater on a submarine. So
yeah, that's true.
And it's not like he's going to be doing hard time in a freaking prison with violent offenders.
Any time is too much for me. So hard time, not hard time.
I agree. He's going to come back. He's going to be a felon. That's horrible. Okay. But I bet you his tennis game is a lot better when he comes back.
The judge gave him...
Seriously, that's the kind of facility he's going to be in.
I don't think they have tennis, but...
They have tennis.
No.
They have tennis.
No.
Guarantee you.
Pickleball's
no way.
Pickleball, my bad, Joe.
Even in prison, pickleball's big.
Hey,
all right, let's do some ads.
Wait.
Yes,
Hold on. I got to update you guys on the Gosen.
Oh, God.
Okay, because I've been
Talk
reading.
about down a rabbit hole.
This is incredible story.
Thank you, man.
Dude, he chose Lebanon for his place to go to.
Is he still there? They never
Yes.
got him?
They never got him.
Good for him.
Matter of fact, not only that, but the United Nations came out and said that his arrest in Japan was unfair and they deserve to pay him
The UN?
compensation. The United Nations Human Rights Group said the Japanese government should give Gosen compensation and other reparations due to the arrest and detention conditions in November 2018.
Hey, do you think
that's not about his
do you think he
arrest,
speaks
that's
English? I imagine he does, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he's Japanese.
I say we get Steve Kellogg on it and we get this guy as a guest.
Oh, my
Skypes
God.
in from Lebanon.
Could
Skypes
you
in
imagine?
from Lebanon. Let's go, man. Lockpot exclusive.
It's about time Steve had a challenge.
Steve, we want Gosen.
I want an interview with
Can
Gosen.
you imagine?
That would be awesome.
We'll do it off hours
There were two
to compensate for time zone.
There were 2 Americans that helped him escape. He paid them $1 million for their services.
And they got caught.
They got caught.
Yep.
Oh,
sentenced
my.
Yep, I remember
2
that.
years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In Japan?
They got caught.
The
the
I think they got
conspirators.
arrested by. Okay.
Was it American?
The U.S. agreed to extradite them to Japan.
That's
Yeah,
what
to
it was.
Japan.
Holy.
Wow.
Oh, that's
I remember
bad.
the story.
Oh, even Japan's an ally, man. We're going to
Yeah.
extradite to Japan
Right.
every time.
They weren't an ally in the 40s.
But they're Americans.
Yeah, but
How
John,
does that work?
Well, of course because
Conspirators.
you extradite to other countries, just
Yeah.
like we expect. Then if we didn't, John, then if we had somebody in Japan, they'd be like, "Well,
Yeah.
you didn't help, you didn't extradite your guys,
Right, exactly.
We're not extraditing
And they
our
just
guys."
serve their time in Japan, Jim.
Yes,
Mhm.
It's a
I wonder what
Japan
that's
offense.
like.
Conspirators. It's very nice.
I
I'm
bet
sure.
it is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Japan has a
Got,
99
like sushi for dinner.
Japan has a 99.4%. What do you call it? Like
Conviction
success
rate?
conviction rate.
Yeah.
Mm.
How about
Dude.
that? Huh?
Check this out, though.
Sound
If you
like-
did prison time in Japan, I would immediately go to the basketball courts. I'd be like, let's go. Dude, everybody would want me on their team.
Dominate.
Because I'd be taller than every person in that. I went to
That's-
China, dude.
that's-
I know what I'm talking.
No,
No,
that's
allowed
when I went to
discriminatory.
China,
That's discriminatory
it
against
is not.
Japanese.
Are we
When
allowed
I
to
was in
talk
China, I was in the upper 1% height-wise, for sure. I felt massive, and I was with
Yeah.
a person that was much bigger than me.
Felt
That
massive.
he was the biggest person in China, the person I was with. Okay, so
There's
I've
a
never
lot
been
of
to
tall
Japan.
Chinese
okay,
basketball
I've never
players.
been. Okay, I've never been to Japan. I imagine I'm still fairly tall in Japan if I go visit.
All right.
I imagine I'm one of the bigger people in the country. I'm not saying I'm the biggest, but I feel like
Be in the top 10%.
top 5%. I bet.
Okay.
220. 6'1",
All right,
220.
there we go.
6'1",
Look it up.
220, John.
6'1",
What about
220.
sumo wrestlers?
Let's
There's
go.
a lot of- but sumo.
Okay, 6'1",
Sumo.
220. Where am I at as compared to the typical demographic in a Japanese prison?
Average height is 5 feet 7.2 inches.
What's that?
5'7".
I would dominate
the
that
average.
person.
That just means
I'm not
50
even good at basketball.
That's 50%.
I
though.
would dominate 5'7". I'd be intimidating to that person.
What are you,
They're-
6'1"?
The average
6'1", 220, dude. All muscle? Come on.
The average Japanese
all
guy, though, is
muscle.
like
All muscle. Dude,
wiry and quick.
Let me go to
Very-
that Tom
for a
cam.
50
Look at
Tom
that all
cam.
muscle right there.
It's a
Right?
shirt. I think
It
it's
is,
a sub
it is,
shirt.
It is.
You can't teach tall.
All right,
Cannot
let's-
teach tall.
Let's.
That was not in the script.
And that was. I still like computerizing as the title. That's 1A
Computer.
right there, Jill. You can't teach.
We're going to
tall.
go ahead and do
You're
some
welcome.
ads. When we come back from the ads, we're going to do a Festival of the Lakes update, and then we're going to cover
wrap
some
it up.
congressional shenanigans
Oh.
to let us go.
Big Fest update.
Let's start.
Yes.
Ku Klux Law. Are you facing legal challenges and don't know what to do? Who are you going to call? Ku Klux, that's you. Your trusted source for legal advice in Indiana and in Illinois. Do you need representation buying or selling real estate? Call Ku Klux Law. Do you need help forming your business? Call Ku Klux Law. Did you get injured in a car crash or at your job? Call Ku Klux Law. No matter what your legal issue is, call Ku Klux Law at 219-671-6347 for a free consultation. Hablamos Español.
Misprint Printing specializes in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and under budget. Misprint's experience in technology allows them to offer custom commercial on-demand printing and sign solutions. Rick Baltzen,
And metal business cards.
And metal business cards. Rick Balzenberger and his team have served Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana for over 30 years. They have 2 convenient locations to serve you in Munster and Hammond.
Oh, thank you. Prestmer Insurance Company. The Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been located for decades right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. They specialize in a wide variety of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Prestmer Agency serves over 1,000 people and businesses in all Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron, Ronnie, or Michael at 219-844-0103. And I would mention I talked to Ron and Ronnie yesterday about our Smith Sursick Business Insurance. So once again, they
Awesome.
Do great work over there, and I would give all those guys a call when you can.
And I know we just did another thing with them from the city yesterday as well, right?
Yeah, they actually insure the 5K. It's coming up.
Oh, we were talking about boxing club.
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you're talking the boxing club. And
That's Ron, Ronnie, and Michael. They're our go-to.
just really, really knowledgeable. I had a really good conversation with Ron about an issue with the boxing club and about what's called non-owned auto insurance. And just they're really good guys to talk to, easy to talk to, and are very, very knowledgeable.
219-844-0103. That's the Prestmer Insurance Agency. Tortillas Nuevo Leon. Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise. Song.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor para ti y tu familia. De todo corazón.
You know, one thing I've learned being on this pod is Kevin's peripheral vision is
Dude,
not good.
right?
Like, it's
I was
none.
thinking the same thing.
Zero.
You
wave at him. I wave at him.
I was
never...
like, John, I was like literally behind his screen. His entire focus is
Yes.
on that screen.
Yeah, I was focused.
I went like this, and you didn't even see it. Or he saw it and was
He's
like, fuck
ignoring
Tom.
you.
Right?
Yeah.
It was one of those two.
The funny
He's
thing
super
is-
concentrated, or he was blowing
So this
me
is
off.
funny. One of the things on my screen is our podcast, and I actually saw the wave and looked up on the screen, and that made me look up.
That's funny. That's funny. Bug guy, Kevin.
Yes, sir. I didn't know it was me. That's actually you, but well,
No, I just did.
I
one.
did Prestamer. Thank you very much.
I think
The
it's
bug
Jill.
guy pest control.
So you should
Thanks,
wave
Jill.
at yourself.
Thanks,
Here, Tom, bug guy.
Everybody point at everybody.
All right, Jill, bug guy.
Warmer temperatures mean unwanted guests such as ants, spiders, wasps, mosquitoes, and more shut down their party before they get started. A comprehensive pest plan from the Bug Guy will help you enjoy the great outdoors as well as the indoors all summer long. To solve your pest problem or start a preventative plan, call the Bug Guy today and tell the pests he's on the way. Call Brian at 219-810-7481.
All right. Thanks for the sponsors, and thanks for sponsoring LockPod and keeping us on the air. We appreciate you, and so do our fans across
Definitely.
the entire world.
Thank you.
There's people in Japan that listen to us.
Germany.
Remember
that?
our second
up the
biggest
rank.
market now.
Yes.
Belgium. What is
They
up?
fell off. Maybe they all moved to Germany for the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
It's
right.
close.
Oh, they're on holiday.
Yeah. Around. Thank you. Good work, Jill.
I like
yes.
that. Mm-hmm.
All right. We got a Festival of Lakes update. We added
that's
we
exciting.
added an act to the Lil Wayne show. He was Lil Wayne asked us if we'd consider it. He likes playing with this act, and it was she's awesome. I know a few of her songs. I don't know them. I've heard them.
I accidentally called her the biggest bitch, and she's the baddest bitch. That was showing how
I don't like that. nickname.
That's her tagline.
the baddest
She is
bitch.
very
I think,
pretty.
right, Jill?
She
Is that
looks
right?
like a very,
We definitely
very nice
could
young-
not play any of her songs.
Really.
Whoa.
Really?
No.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No.
But she is very
Who
pretty.
is it?
I would never call her that.
What's her name?
Her name is Trina, and she's opening for Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne and her have a professional relationship, and he'd asked us if we'd consider it, and we were already in big with Lil Wayne, and we were like, "What the heck?" I know the fans have responded amazingly.
People are pumped about Trina.
Let me tell you something, dude. Like, I want everybody to know that we already know Lil Wayne's gonna be profitable. So like, I know there's people out there that are like, I'm not buying a ticket. Okay, no problem.
Sit on the sidelines, man.
No problem. I mean, you could go on the bridge and probably see the show or hear the show, just like at Taylor Swift, but it's not going to be the same because it's going to be a jam packed, and you're going
a
to
lot of fun.
You
You'll
also
hear it.
can't do that. We're definitely going to clear that.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
That
Okay,
will
you
be
can go
cleared.
across the street
We've
then.
talked about that.
No.
I saw Jill's brother. He'll be
Yeah.
clearing that
Good.
bridge.
So what I'm saying is,
Single-handedly.
Yes.
I'm not worried about. I'm going to tell you guys straight up. There's going to be 17,000 people in that venue that night for a fact. Okay, we know that for a fact, and Lil Wayne's going to have an awesome show.
So make sure
and
you're
if
one of
people
them.
want to sit there and not participate, we have to do things like this if we want acts like Lil Wayne to come. And to have Trina open for Lil Wayne in a free show, that's not possible.
And by the way, another thing to kind of talk about is the fact that, and this is, if you're into rap and hip hop, you'll know this, but we've got two really good DJs that are going to play: DJ Ferris, DJ K Caesar, and they're going to. So it's going to go DJ, Trina, DJ, Lil Wayne. So it's going to be a really fun night, really, really cool night with something happening all the time.
Yeah.
Did you make this, Jill? This graphic?
Is that the recently approved one?
Yes.
Beautiful.
You did that?
That's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that was done by them.
Ding, ding, ding. Jill.
That's great.
Approved
Really?
by them.
You did that with the plants and everything?
No, that's the photo they sent us. I just
Okay.
added the other stuff.
Oh, okay.
She generated the
I was
plans.
like, holy
Tom
crap.
notices the plants in the background.
No, I thought that was all
Look
like
at that
computer
greenery.
generated. Dude, I'm like being
That's
dumb
some
today.
really
Sorry.
solid greenery, Jill.
I'm being dumb today, man.
Computerizing.
Jill did
again.
the photo shoot and everything.
Jill,
I
that's
did her
some great
makeup before.
computerizing.
Hey, dude, could you put some stuff on your side of the table? Like all the shit
Well,
is on
you
my
put the
side.
vagina candle box on my side. Here,
Well,
we'll
here,
switch.
I'll put that over here. I
All right,
like the
fine.
smell of it.
All right, good.
Would
I
you
don't.
rather
I
have the
don't.
vagina candle or the vagina
or
box?
the dog
Vagina-
shit,
vagina
or the
candle
dog shit squeezy toy?
Right. All right. Hey, we got another update for Lil Wayne. This is in regards to the free ticket giveaway.
This is exciting too.
We were planning to give away 2,000 free tickets, and then we talked to Lil Wayne, and he asked us if we'd consider 3,000 free tickets, and we said yes. So we're giving away another 1,000 free tickets tomorrow for a Lil Wayne show.
Whoa.
2 per Hammond resident to show up. Okay.
2 per Hammond address.
Excuse me. 2 per Hammond address that shows up. So if Patrick shows up from my house before I do and gets the 2 tickets, I show up, I can't get them. Right? All Patrick needs is a valid ID.
Valid Indiana ID with a Hammond address.
Right. So
Don't fucking show up if you don't have that.
I agree.
That's right.
Right?
Don't get in line.
Well,
We've been very clear.
Don't
We've been
do it.
very clear. It's you're asking for something free. The other day I was getting crap from people because we weren't giving enough free stuff away. It's like, dude,
Oh, that I can't stand.
this is a real concert.
I cannot stand
with
that.
a top quality act that normally plays Chicago. He's playing Hammond, and everybody wants
Just
it for
in
free.
general. I
It's
heard-
like, dude, you know how much that would cost us if we gave everybody a free ticket to the show? We'd be eating 7 figures. We can't do that. So what we do is we put together a system that's completely cost free. I mean, not cost free. It's affordable, right? And people are bitching, but it's like, hey, keep bitching. That place will have 17,000 people, I promise you, and they're going to see an epic, amazing concert with Lil Wayne and Trina.
Yes, and 2 great DJs, DJ K. Caesar and DJ Ferris.
So we're giving away 1,000 more. So 3,000 tickets tomorrow, Joe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, are
That's
you
right.
running this one or
Nope.
No, Kevin,
No.
could you talk about that?
Sure, yeah. Eileen and her crew, as well as John and IT, have really been helpful because there's a huge computer setup for all the computerizing we're going to do. And
Computerizing.
yes.
Definitely the name of the
but
show.
like it helps. So what's happening is like when you come and we enter your address, it's blocked out for all the computers. Like you can't have somebody else come.
Right.
So it's really important.
Gotcha. So like if I showed up to one
Correct.
computer and got my 2,
Yep.
Patrick showed up to another one right around the same time.
Yep.
Gotcha. Good job.
Yeah,
That's
really good.
stuff.
And kudos to Ray Escamilla, too. He
Good.
helped.
Yeah.
Right, John?
Yep.
Yeah, so Ray did a great job. So anyway.
Thank you, Ray.
Tomorrow morning.
By the way, Ray did that TikTok we dropped from.
Yes.
That's a good one.
We should put that on
I
soon.
did.
Which one was that?
Dude, Kevin doesn't even follow our TikTok, Joe.
Yeah.
That
We
sounds
put it up
familiar.
yesterday.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well,
Yeah.
what is it? Oh.
It's remember that last person at Mayor's Night Out, the really nice person.
Oh, I saw
Oh, that you asked
That
to
whole
become a
exchange
TikTok.
that whole exchange was caught on high
I
def camera.
saw
It
you
looks
tearing
great.
up.
Dude, I was like, that was a
Yeah.
nice way to end it because that wasn't super easy Mayor's Night. It was your average, difficult subjects coming up, but it wasn't over the top bad, but it wasn't over the top great either. So to have that as the last question, where this guy is just like, this place is amazing. You should be very proud of yourself and your team.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very nice way to end Mayor's Night Out.
It sure was.
Yeah.
So can I go back to
Yeah, please.
the rules and regulations for tomorrow? So it's happening tomorrow, Saturday, June 24th at the Hammond Civic Center. Front doors, 5825 Soul Street in Hammond. Lineup will begin at 6 a.m.
Don't come
officially.
earlier.
That's right.
Don't do it.
It's
Don't camp
barricaded. Doors are going to open at hopefully right at 9 a.m. You can come after 9, but you take your chances that maybe you're the 1,500th and one person in line, and then you'll be beyond the 3,000. 2 tickets per address. You do need to have a valid state of Indiana ID or driver's license with a Hammond address. Somebody actually put a question up and said, I just moved to Hammond 2 weeks ago. I said, hey, go to the BMV,
Yep.
get your license. They'll
Yep.
give you a paper one. That'll be valid. They'll
That's
give you a
fine.
temporary one.
Good.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
you could use your old ID with your new address. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to make sure
We're
you
not
have the
looking to
paper.
screw you.
No,
if
but
you
it
live
has
in
to be
Hammond,
valid.
right? If you live in Hammond and you could prove it legally, we're gonna be all
With
all
an ID, though. You can't bring a lease.
Right.
You think bring a
Agree.
NIPSCO bill.
Agree.
Right.
Agree.
It
Okay,
is
I have
with
a
an
question.
ID. Yes, sir.
Because this is going to happen tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Someone
We're
lives
ready.
in Robertsdale. They have a
It says
Whiting.
Whiting.
Already
address.
covered.
We know where they are.
We have a
Is that me? Are you talking
Good
about
question. Good question.
yes, we have a cross-reference list of every street.
We know where you are.
and we know which ones are in Hammond, including the 100 blocks.
Right.
Covered, John. Check.
Boom.
Good
Yes.
job.
So get there before they run out. Hopefully we'll have them. I think we estimated that if everybody shows up and we have 3,000 tickets to give away, we should be done by noon. So
Do me a favor. What's how much are these tickets worth? 75 each.
60 for the GA section.
What's 60 times 1,500?
Well, let's see. That'd be
675,
90 or 80,
900,000,
900,000? 90,000.
90,000. We're giving away almost 100. We should have done this smarter. Let's give away another like 200.
So you can
We'll
get
give
to
away
$100,000
$100,000 worth of free tickets.
Just about. So
Woo.
maybe there'll be something later, but there's no guarantee.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give away $100,000 worth of free tickets.
Close to that.
For Lil Wayne. We're going to end up giving away $100,000
Eventually.
Well, that's pretty good way to sell it.
Pretty cool.
Let's start saying that from now on.
Nearly $100,000 in ticket giveaway tomorrow.
That's right.
So hopefully show up at the Civic Center if you're a Hammond resident with your ID and enjoy it. It should be good weather in the morning. Bring a bottle of water or a
What if
snack
somebody
while
takes
you're
our
in line.
tickets and puts them on StubHub? day after tomorrow night? Is that
up to them? But they will have to have the original ticket because they are embossed. So the embosser is going to be working with the controllers. The controller's office is going to be embossing them. So you have to have the original.
So we don't
embossed.
care if they do that.
You can't make a copy.
Wait, so they can't sell them on StubHub?
They could, as long as they can get them the tickets.
The original,
physical,
so they have to,
physical
they have to have
embossed
the physical.
ticket.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct. There's a
That's
reason.
tough.
Or
there's
you could
there's
do
a
it-
reason for that.
Or you
tough.
could sell it old school, like you can just hand the ticket over to
yeah,
somebody.
you can do that too.
Old school, as long as the original is the one that has to be
Correct.
at the show.
Correct.
Okay.
And you're gonna have 2 pieces of paper, 1 ticket each.
Okay,
So, all right.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. See everybody there tomorrow. It's going to be an exciting morning. John
gonna
and I
be
are
there?
going to get. Yes, sir.
What time?
I'm managing the door.
I'll be there.
I'll be there probably by. What do you think, John? We'll be there by 7, I think.
Yeah, who's
7:30.
bringing the coffee? Are you bringing the
I
coffee?
will. Yeah.
I'll get there
Absolutely.
at 8:59.
Nice.
Okay.
Maybe come either a little earlier or a little
Are you gonna
later,
cut
so
the
we don't
line?
have to. Because when
All
you
right.
come, everyone will be like,
Are you just
"Mayor's
gonna-
here," and they'll
8:58.
stress out.
Are you just going to cut to the front to get your 2 tickets?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
He
I'm
said
one of
yeah.
the 1,500.
No,
I have
I
to.
think yours
I'm
are
getting
reserved.
tickets for Patrick for the record,
Yeah.
and I
obviously.
imagine Patrick's going to give them to his friends. So that's
Why aren't you getting them for Tommy or Chase?
Because Patrick lives in the house now.
Tommy
and Chase don't live in the house.
Good point.
That's right.
Hammond resident.
I don't even let him vote there anymore.
Damn.
It's like, get out.
Good thinking.
I was on the ballot. I
wouldn't
was like,
want
get the
him to
hell
be-
out.
you
No,
wouldn't-
I told Chase straight up, like, you cannot vote. No, you know.
No, sir.
I think Tom's going to want to see the process.
I do
like
too.
Bring him forward with the ID. Let us enter it. See how it goes. You know,
Yeah,
Just to
man.
make sure it works.
just to make sure it works.
But like
okay.
honestly, like this is a big day for me because I want to walk up and see a bunch of people online.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I'm excited about that.
I'm excited for you.
If we walk up and there's 12 people online, I'm gonna
there
be
will
like,
be more than 12.
I believe
we're
that-
giving away free shit.
I noticed a lot of. You know how when people
People
on
love free
Facebook,
shit.
Yeah, right.
when in Facebook, how people just put somebody's name to let them know about something.
Yeah.
There's been so much of that on that post.
Really?
Like Tom McDermott, Marissa McDermott,
Right.
you know, like
Hundreds.
John Vesmar.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hundreds
Kinda
of
cool.
shares.
Well, good show today.
Yeah.
really,
what-
a lot of.
do you
want to
like close out
subtopics.
with a nice little closing topic?
Oh, do you have that, John? Where
Boebert?
MTG
Yeah.
and Boebert got into it?
I
do.
love a good cat fight.
Yeah.
Can I say that? Or is that
Who
is
knows?
that
You're probably going to
anti-woke?
be.
Jill, can I say cat fight?
Say whatever you want.
Do I
That's right.
offend you
This
when I
is-
say cat fight?
No.
All right.
Everybody loves a good cat fight. John,
Yeah. Oh,
Me
yeah.
too.
right? I love a good
Sure.
cat
I
fight.
love a good Tarantino.
Can we
There was
say
one.
that?
Is there?
Are we
I
gonna
think
be
so.
canceled?
I said it.
We've
I
been
said it.
canceled.
Dude, I got an idea. If
we
we're starting to
haven't
get
been
canceled,
already.
let's just edit that part out. So anyway, there was a cat fight on the floor of Congress, and Marjorie
Yeah.
Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. There
They
was no
got into
punches
it.
thrown, but they were talking some smack.
MTG was really pissed at Boebert because apparently MTG believes that she has the corner on the market on impeachment articles of our president, and
Dumbest
what's
arguments
happening.
and fight.
and she
You're
said,
a little bitch.
yeah, she called. Well, somebody said she called her a bitch, and somebody said she called her a little bitch because she was saying
But
that
she's not the
Boebert-
baddest bitch.
No, and she's
That's
not the
right.
baddest.
Trina's the
bitch.
baddest bitch.
Because she said Boebert copied her, like kind of plagiarized her articles of impeachment, or trying to do her own articles of impeachment on President Biden. And
Marjorie Taylor Greene is definitely the more. I would if there was. We're gonna.
if there's gonna be a fight, I'm
I
taking
got
MTG.
all day.
Yes.
Over
right?
Boebert? Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
unless Boebert pulls out her gun, but
Oh, there's
MTG.
that. Yeah.
I just
I was
They both
assuming.
got guns. I mean,
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
true,
I
but-
agree. You got to leave the guns at home.
Boebert seems to be more of a gun fanatic than MTG.
But what I'm saying is, you can't guns.
no
change everything.
guns, no guns.
If there was a physical brawl,
MTG all day.
we all agree. Jill,
Yeah.
I mean, like kick her ass all day.
I think she would just like
Obliterate
overpower
her.
and just like wail on her face.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm taking MTG in that fight all day. All day.
We all agree.
Yeah.
It's not very often we agree on something in Lock Quad Studio.
No.
It's like unanimous.
Especially about
too.
MTG.
Yeah.
No, I just think it's hilarious. Like, because we've got Boebert now running up the stairs of the Capitol to like miss her vote,
missing
and,
a
like,
vote,
and
and
say
then-
it wasn't because she missed the vote.
Right.
And then we've got MTG kind of like going after her. I think Boebert's in a race. By the way, that guy almost beat her last time by like 400 votes.
And
or something,
Boebert
400
is
votes.
in
Colorado.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
Colorado's not batshit crazy. There's
No.
still some rational people there.
But this is why, like, MTG's freaking out. Like, you guys know, like, why she's calling her a little bitch is, like, MTG has essentially went mainstream with McCarthy.
Yeah.
You know, she's gone out of the fringe
Yes.
of, like, the QAnon
Agree.
stuff.
Agree.
And she to support him as House Speaker,
Yep.
to support the no debt limit,
Correct.
and she has come out and said since this little bitch exchange, the cost of her support was to be able to present the impeachment
Right.
vote on Biden.
Right,
and
right.
here Boebert comes
Trying to
in.
steal her thunder.
And by the way, McCarthy is like, I don't even want to do this impeachment. So this whole thing is
Because
like a joke.
Well, no, it's gonna. It's a joke. It's not.
Do you think it would
gonna
pass
go
the
anywhere.
House? I mean, I guess.
I don't think it would.
I think it would, but I think this is just another example of the GOP just fucking everything up. They just can't. They can't get along. They can't figure out what camps they're in. Meanwhile, this is contrasted by Schiff. Did you guys hear about? He got censured. And all the Dems
the
rally
Republican
around
House.
him.
Yeah.
So there's really some contrasting things going on that are quite interesting. The Dems are all sticking together. The Republicans are in a mess, like always.
Well, it
fighting
even
with
goes
each
back.
other.
I mean, look, we go back to like when they tried to overturn Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't even. You know what I mean? They had the votes.
Yep.
And they couldn't do it. So those camps are
yeah.
interesting. Well, good.
I'm going to be Kevin today. I think it's time to wrap everything up here. Kevin is so on the ball with it, and we're just still
stick
going
to the rules.
I know there is no rules for a podcast.
We're the most dangerous podcast in the Midwest.
Yes, sir. So thanks for coming in today. It's great to see you, Joe. Jay Vez, good job. Although there was a glitch today, but hey,
was there?
It happens. Yeah, you
just in our ears.
You blasted our ears. The audience didn't hear it.
We're going to hear that on the way out.
But we
outro.
I blame
did,
Steve
John.
Sursick for that.
We did, John.
But I'm going to play that on the way out.
The outro.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Jill. Kevin Smith. Good to have you back in regular. I hope you had that conversation with Jana. I know it's probably uncomfortable, but about management frowning on your vacation. So we'll talk about it after. So
thank you.
And coming to you from the Midwest Most Dangerous Podcast, it's the Locomotive saying see you guys later. We will be back on Tuesday with another quality product. Take care, everybody. Lock pods out.